The cost of living in the San Francisco Bay Area has skyrocketed over the past decade, taking the region from expensive to prohibitive. San Francisco is now the most expensive city in the world, and San Jose, Oakland, and Berkeley all rank in the top 10. As a result, people who are from these cities have been priced out, displaced, forced to leave their homes for places where they can afford to live. These are their stories.
Hey, my name is Teruko Taylor. I'm a 28-year-old assistant principal currently residing in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm originally from Palouse and Rankin, Hunters Point to be exact. And I'm a poet, I'm a lesbian out the closet, and that's pretty much it. People are struggling, so when people struggle, there's a lot of peril, there's a lot of negativity that comes with that. And just growing up, I just remember hearing about so many people getting killed, being on 3rd, hearing gunshots, running, trying to get on the 24, and just being told all the time as a child, I don't want you hanging out on 3rd and Palouse. You know, I don't want you hanging out there, and finding my way there anyway. My grandma raised me, really went to a school that didn't really prepare me to be successful. I knew I grew up in a neighborhood that created more martyrs than they did leaders. I oftentimes would go to bed hearing gunshots. I would wonder where my uncles were, if they were safe. I would worry about my brothers and my family. She raised me, her and my mother raised me to be a hustler, to know what the city life was like, to be fast-paced, but to also be smart, street smart, and also have a good head on my shoulders as far as academics, and knowing that this isn't the place that I had to end up. That this is where I'm from, but it doesn't have to be my last destination. To be honest, I saw it as a way to sort of escape all of this that's happening here in the Point. Not only family issues, but the people who I was running with and myself. I wanted to live in my own shadows and not the shadows of others. And also live knowing that I could start fresh believing in myself, and that I could go anywhere in the United States or the world without anybody believing in me. And so when I heard about Teach for America, going to PWI, UC Berkeley, you know, I heard a lot of white and Asian people talking about how they were gonna go into these predominantly black schools and be saviors to these little black and brown children. And I knew at that point that instead of me allowing this test to break me, let it be a testimony for other kids who look like me, who come from places like me. And I applied to Teach for America. And so I moved to Mississippi, out of all places. I wanted to get as far away from the city as I could. I needed something slow, because I felt like I was in the fast life and I was fast-tracked to jail or 6 feet under. I moved to Mississippi in 2012. I taught 5th grade there for 5 years. I met my beautiful wife, and this past year I moved to Atlanta. I taught 5th grade there. I was an interventionist for an after-school program, and currently I'm an assistant principal at an elementary school in Atlanta. So although I miss San Francisco so much, the opportunities that I've been granted have been so surreal and nostalgic, in the sense that I remember as a kid just thinking, am I gonna make it to KFC for work? Like, that was my only ends. That was what I thought was success, like having a job, you know, getting food stamps, making it, trying to hustle, trying to boost, trying to do things to survive. And now knowing that I had this opportunity, I took it, I know that I can conquer so much more. And I've been thinking about coming back to San Francisco because I miss home. San Francisco will always be home, regardless of how much it changes, physically, demographically. But the cost of living here is so high. It's unfortunate that I would not be able, with 2 master's degrees, working on a PhD, to afford to come back to San Francisco to survive and thrive. And there's such a wealth disparity here that my families are facing homelessness, and just knowing that it's that close, it's almost like, why come home?